Hello, dear students. I hope you are all fine and you are all keeping good health. In this tutorial audio presentation, I will revise note making once again. As you all know, note making is there in your midterm syllabus, and note making is very important. It has 8 marks. That information also you got. Now, let me just revise note making a bit. I'll give you some instructions and I will explain those instructions side by side. Now, before I give you the instructions, let us come to the intro part. What note making is all about. We have to know what exactly is note making. Note making is an important study skill. Sometimes our study material is rather large. It is difficult to remember large chunks of information. For that reason, we prefer note making. So it is advisable to note down the main points of the material or passage. Large chunks of information, very difficult to go through all the informations. That is the reason note making is very important. These points should be further divided into subsections and subsections. Now, dear students, subsections and subsections is related with subpoints and subpoints also. Using abbreviations and symbols makes note making more compact and precise. Now, dear students, abbreviations and symbols are very important. Without abbreviations and symbols, note making is practically incomplete. So, abbreviations and symbols are very necessary. Now, let me move on to the second important thing related with note making. Characteristics of good note making. It is very important to know some of the chief characteristics of good note making. Number one, notes should be short. It should not be lengthy. It should be precise. It should be compact. Identify the main points. You have to identify the main points while making notes. Number 3 or number C, notes must be written in note form. You have to write the notes in a proper format. That format is known as note form. Number D, note making must be written in phrases and not in sentences. Remember it. No need to write in complete sentences. Write in phrases. Number E, informations are divided logically and subdivided by the use of figures or letters. Informations, plenty of informations are there in the passage. You have to select the most vital informations. Now, those informations, while you are writing in the note making format, are to be divided very logically, and not only they are to be divided, but they are to be subdivided also by the use of figures or letters. Now I am moving on to the process of writing notes, that is techniques or methods of making notes. What are the techniques to be applied? There are many techniques. Dear students, one by one I am coming to every technique. Number one, first technique or method. What is the first technique or method? Main sections can be highlighted by 1, 2 and 3 etc. by numerically. Now, if following this method, the subpoints can be highlighted by Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3 etc. Now, subsections can be highlighted by A, B and C etc. This is one technique. Another technique which is very popular, dear students, you might find in my materials that I have given you. that I mainly followed this system in many of my note making solved assignments that we call decimal system. Here, the main sections can be highlighted by 1, 2, and 3 or 4, etc. like that. Subsections or subpoints can be highlighted by 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. in this way. And if you want to break it up more into subsections, then it can be highlighted by 1.1.1, 1.1.2 and 1.1.3, etc. It will go on in that way. That depends on how much you want to break it up into subsections. Now, apart from these two techniques, the other things without which note making lies incomplete is abbreviations and symbols. So, dear students, abbreviations and symbols must be used freely. But when you complete the entire format, then in the box that you have to write separately the abbreviations and symbols, at that time only 4 is enough. But in the main note making structure, you can use freely plenty of abbreviations and symbols. You can mark with pencil, but select any 4 out of the many, and then you write list of abbreviations. You can draw a box to make it easily understandable for the examiners. Now, the other important thing that you have to remember is articles, prepositions and conjunctions are omitted. Please remember this, dear students. Kindly remember this. Articles, prepositions and conjunctions are omitted. Number 6. Notes must make sense when they are read again. Your note making format, it should have a logic, it should have a sense when it will be tallied with the main question passage. It should make a sense. Now, that was the technique and the important things to be followed in the note making format. Now, dear students, as you know that 50 word summary you have to write, and for that you have 3 marks weightage. Now, summary should be related with the note making format. I repeatedly advised you previously also that for writing the summary, no need to again go through the passage. You will waste a lot of time. So what you will do? You will write down the summary from the note making format, because the summary and the note making format must be interrelated. There should be a connection. If the summary is slightly different and the format is different, then ultimately you will lose marks. So what are the things you have to remember while writing summary? 5 simple things. Understanding important ideas. You have to understand the important ideas. Next one, writing them down. Then you have to, in a sequential order, in a well compact manner, well arranged or assembled manner, you have to write it down. Remember, dear students, always avoid examples, explanations and repetitions. Please avoid examples, explanations and repetitions, not needed. The summary must be written in full sentences and it must contain all the main ideas. Yes, in note making format I told you that no need to write full sentences, but I advise you that in summary you have to write full sentences. And remember, in your summary, the summary must contain all the main ideas discussed in the note making format. And those ideas are also very important in respect to the note making passage. And last point, dear students, remember, be precise, be very much compact in your expression. You have to be very precise. Whatever you are writing, it should be very, very compact, very, very important in respect to the note making format and also in respect to the passage given. So that is it, dear students. I hope you will all listen to this audio presentation, because this particular audio presentation is very, very vital. You have to listen to this, and I request you that if there is any doubt, any problem, please ask me. I will try my level best to clarify the matter. Once again, there is no problem in that. So dear students, listen to this audio very carefully. Thank you students. Thank you all.